Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, welcome everyone for the Wednesday Dhamma reading. Today we are going to take the first sermon given by Lord Buddha. He has given this sermon to the 5 ascetics along with other devas present there. So the first existence of the Dhamma started when the Buddha has given this first sutta, which is setting in motion the wheel of the Dhamma. We are on this path because Buddha started teaching this practice, and also out of compassion that other beings are suffering, and Buddha has found himself the path, the middle path, and out of compassion Buddha has taught us this path. So this is the first discourse that the Buddha has given. We'll start reading. So if you are comfortable like sitting in a home environment rather than on a go, I advise you sit down comfortably, calm your mind down for a minute or two, then listen to the sutta, because after listening to sutta for the first time also, Anna Kundanna understood. He became first stage of enlightenment. He became Sotapani. So if you can sit down at a place, calm down your mind, bring it to the present moment, and then listen to this. I'll not stop in between. I'll go through the sutta again. For now, I'll read the sutta completely. Then we'll go one by one. Thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Varanasi, in the dear path at Isipatana. There, the Blessed One addressed the Bhikkhus of the group of 5 thus. Bhikkhus, these two extremes should not be followed by one who has gone forth into homelessness. What to? The pursuit of sensual happiness, sensual pleasures, which is low, vulgar, the way of worldlings, ignoble, unbeneficial, and the pursuit of self-mortification, which is painful, ignoble, unbeneficial. Without veering towards either of these extremes, the Tathagata has awakened to the middle way, which gives rise to vision, which gives rise to knowledge, which leads to peace, to direct knowledge, to enlightenment, to Nibbana. And what bhikkhus is that middle way awakened to by the Tathagata, which gives rise to vision, which gives rise to knowledge, which leads to peace, to direct knowledge, to enlightenment, to Nibbana. It is this Noble Eightfold Path that is right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right collectedness. This bhikkhus is that middle way awakened to by the Tathagata, which gives rise to vision, which gives rise to knowledge, which leads to peace, to direct knowledge, to enlightenment, to Nibbana. Now this bhikkhus is the noble truth of suffering. Birth is suffering, aging is suffering, illness is suffering, death is suffering. Union with what is displeasing is suffering. Separation from what is pleasing is suffering. Not to get what one wants is suffering. In brief, the five aggregates subjected to clinging are suffering. Now, this because is the noble truth of the origin of suffering. It is this craving which leads to renewed existence, accompanied by delight and lust, seeking delight here and there. That is, craving for sensual pleasure, craving for existence, craving for extermination. Now, this because is the noble truth of cessation of suffering. It is the reminderless fading away and cessation of that same craving, the giving up and relinquishing of it, freedom from it, non-reliance on it. Now this because is the noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering. It is this Noble Eightfold Path, that is, right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right collectedness. This is the noble truth of suffering. Thus, because, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This noble truth of suffering is to be fully understood. Thus, because, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This noble truth of suffering has been fully understood. Thus, because, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me knowledge, vision, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This is the noble truth of the origin of suffering. Thus, because, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This noble truth of the origin of suffering is to be abandoned. Thus, because, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This noble truth of the origin of suffering is to be abandoned. Thus, because, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This noble truth of the origin of suffering has been abandoned. Thus, because, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This is the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. Thus, because, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This noble truth of the cessation of suffering is to be realized. Thus, because, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This noble truth of the cessation of suffering has been realized. Thus, because, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This is the noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering. Thus, because, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering is to be developed. Thus, Bhikkhu, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and life. This noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering has been developed. Thus, Bhikkhus, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and life. So long, Bhikkhus, as by knowledge and vision of these four noble truths, as they really are, in their three phases and 12 aspects, was not thoroughly purified in this way. I did not claim to have awakened to the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment in this world with its devas, Mara, and Brahma, in this generation with its ascetics and Brahmins, its devas and humans. But when my knowledge and vision of these four noble truths, as they really are, in their three phases and 12 aspects, was thoroughly purified in this way, then I claim to have awakened to the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment in this world, with its devas, Mara, and Brahma. In this generation, with its ascetics and Brahmins, its devas and human, the knowledge and vision arose in me. Unshakable is the liberation of my mind. This is my last word. Now there is no more renewed existence. This is what the Blessed One said. Elated, the bhikkhus of the group of five, delighted in the Blessed One's statement. And while this discourse was being spoken, there arose in the Venerable Kundana the dust-free, stainless vision of the Dhamma. Whatever is subjected to origination is all subject to cessation. And when the wheel of the Dhamma has been set in motion by the Blessed One, the earth-dwelling devas rise to cry. At Varanasi, in the deer path at Isipatana, this unsurpassed wheel of the Dhamma has been set in motion by the Blessed One, which cannot be stopped by any ascetic or Brahmin or Deva or Mara or Brahma or by anyone in this world. Having heard the cry of the earth-dwelling Devas, the Devas of the realm of the four great things rise to cry. At Varanasi, this unsurpassed wheel of the Dhamma has been set in motion by the Blessed One, which cannot be stopped by anyone in the world. Having heard the cry of the Devas of the realm of the four great kings, the Tavatimsa Deva, the Yama Devas, the Tusita Devas, the Nimmararati Devas, the Parinimittavasa Devas, the Devas of Brahma company rise to cry. Like Varanasi, in the Deepa, at Isipatana, this unsurpassed wheel of the Dhamma has been set in motion by the Blessed Ones, which cannot be stopped by any ascetic or Brahmin or Deva or Mara or Brahma or by anyone in this world. Thus, at that moment, at that instant, at that second, the cry spread as far as the Brahma world, and this 10,000-fold word system shook, quaked, and trembled, and an immeasurable, glorious radiance appeared in the world, surpassing the divine majesty of the Devas. Then the Blessed One uttered this inspired utterance. Kundana has indeed understood. Kundana has indeed understood. In this way, the Venerable Kundana acquired the name Anna Kundana, who has understood. Okay, before we start discussion, just take a pause. Close your eyes and just allow what you have heard to sink in. Okay, come back to the present. And we will now see how the Buddha has given four noble truths in 12 different aspects. So before that, Buddha has said there are two extremes that should not be followed. For one who has gone forth into homelessness, it's specifically for bhikkhus, but for lay practitioners, it can be as same as the bhikkhus, because the first is extreme of indulging in sensual pleasures. Here the Buddha is saying it is low, which is vulgar, the way of worldlings, ignoble, unbeneficial, which is not beneficial. So instead of going to this extreme of sensual pleasure, sensual indulgence, and the other extreme is self-mortification, which is painful, ignoble, unbeneficial. So instead of going to both of these extremes, Buddha has found out as a middle path. So what is this middle path? This middle path gives rise to vision, gives rise to knowledge, to peace, to enlightenment, to nibbana. And then the Buddha goes on and starts with what is the way, what is this middle path? Here it is about the Noble Eightfold Path. Having right view established, we come into the path. At least for a moment when we have the right view, okay, the meditation with right effort, when you have your intentions rooted in wholesome, when you practice precepts, you have right speech, then whatever action you are doing, when you keep your precepts, you have right action, and then right livelihood, right effort, siddha, the right mindfulness, right collectiveness. All these for the first time, when he has experienced it for himself, then only he gave this to us. So this is the middle path, which gives rise to vision, gives rise to knowledge, which leads to peace, to direct knowledge, to enlightenment, to nibbana. And now, the four noble truths. Yes, of course, we know the four noble truths: suffering, its origin or its cause, and then the cessation of suffering. Then we have the path leading to the cessation of suffering, which is Noble Eightfold Path. And here, first noble truth, that is the noble truth of suffering. The suffering word, what all kinds of suffering we face, has been covered in this. Birth is suffering, aging, we have dissatisfaction. Oh, my skin is getting wrinkly. Oh, my hair are getting gray. Illness, when we get sick, we are not happy. We want to be healthy all the time. It's not possible. So because of illness, we get suffering. Death is suffering. Union with what is displeasing. If you face some difficult situation or something, some person whom you don't like, then also you feel dissatisfaction, then you feel suffering. Again, separation from what is pleasing is also suffering. Now you like an ice cream, you have somebody bought it for you, and then they took it, they didn't give you, then you feel suffering. Or even if a person whom you love the most, or when you take care of them, but then the person passes away, separating from them, it's also suffering. And then not to get what one wants is suffering. If we wish something and if we don't want, that is the expectations that we build up, when they do not meet, that is also suffering. In brief, all the suffering comes into these five aggregates. Subjected to clinging are suffering. Five aggregates are body, form, feeling, perception, formation, and then our consciousness. When we cling to them, our suffering. All the suffering starts by clinging to these five aggregates. Then, where does this suffering start from? What is its origin? The noble truth of the origin of suffering. This suffering starts from craving that we know, the tension, tightness coming in our head, which leads to this craving, leads to renewed existences, accompanied by delight and lust. Okay, now we crave for something. Initially, it's just beginning of little craving, then expands. And then because of this craving, we have rebirth. We have again being born, again the craving exists. And because of delight and lust, or because of that delight, we have this craving, and because of craving, we have this suffering. Seeking delight here and there. Okay, our mind keeps moving. Wherever it likes, wherever it craves, it moves. So it seeks delight in here and there. Wherever it lands, it seeks delight. That is craving for sensual pleasures, whatever senses we have, six senses, through body, through eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, mind, all these six sensual senses, we have sensual pleasures. Even by thinking, if you're thinking about one particular song, or you think about something that is wholesome, and when you keep thinking, your mind gets obsessed and your mind starts craving. Okay, I will keep thinking all these things all over again. And because of thinking, same with body. When you have some nice contact with body, something that feels so soft, and you want it again and again, that's the craving, which leads to suffering. And then craving for existence. Okay, I want to be born in the same family, or maybe born in this realm, maybe born in the higher realm, maybe in the Deva Loka. Craving for extermination, maybe completely letting it go, or something like, I don't want to crave something or something. Craving for extermination, going to the extreme can also be happening. Now this becomes the noble truth of cessation of suffering. Now, first two noble truths says about the suffering and its cause. Basically, first two gives us the suffering, and the solution, cessation, starts in the third and fourth noble truth. Suffering and its release. This cessation, how does this happen? It is the reminderless fading away and cessation of that same craving. When we remove that craving, then we have cessation of suffering. The giving up, the letting go, and then relinquishing of it. Freedom from that craving is called cessation of suffering. Non-reliance on it, giving no attention to that craving, just letting it go, then suffering is freed. And then fourth noble truth, the way leading to the cessation of suffering, is the Noble Eightfold Path. Now the Buddha gives us 12 aspects of these four noble truths. So here, if you see, the first noble truth, when he has experienced it for himself, that this is the noble truth of suffering. In regard to things unheard before, never he have heard it from any teacher or somebody, there arose in him vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge and life. So in his experience, he found for himself, this is the suffering, this is the first noble truth. And then he did not stop that this is the noble truth of suffering. Then what he did is, this noble truth of suffering is to be fully understood. You have to understand the first noble truth first. Then in your practice, when you learn, experience, develop vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge and life. And here the Buddha gives this, it is like a theory and practical, and then finishing it completely. When you go to the third aspect, this noble truth of suffering has been fully understood, which means when he has first started to understand it, on the path of it, and then he has completely understood the first noble truth. Then he has never heard this from anybody else. There arose in him vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and life. Then the second noble truth. This is the noble truth of origin of suffering. From here, the suffering has started, that is the craving. So, in regards to the craving, he has said, the origin of suffering is to be abandoned. The craving which is there should be abandoned. Then, this noble truth of the origin of suffering has been abandoned. That means he knows that he has completely abandoned the craving. And then the third noble truth. This is the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. Now he knows the letting go, relinquishing of it, third noble truth. This noble truth of the cessation of suffering is to be realized. Knowing that you have done the 6 hours, but not being aware of that release, that relax that's happening, then you are not realizing it. Be aware of it. This noble truth of the cessation of suffering is to be realized. Then, after realizing it also, it has been completely realized. That means he has completely let go of that craving. The noble truth of the cessation of suffering has been realized. And then, this is the noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering. He had, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in him vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge. This noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering is to be developed. This cessation of suffering needs to be developed. Until we have completely it has to be developed completely. For him, he achieves an enlightenment. This noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering has been developed. It is completely developed. Now he goes on and now he tells the Bhikkhu, as long as he has not understood these 4 noble truths in these 12 aspects, he did not claim to be having enlightenment. But when he has understood these 4 noble truths as they really are in their 3 phases and 12 aspects, he claimed to have been awakened to the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment in this world, with its devas, Mara, and Brahma, in this generation with its ascetics and Brahmins, its devas and human. So in this whole world, he claimed to be an arhat, an enlightened person, only when he understood these 4 noble truths in 3 aspects and 3 phases and 12 aspects. Then he knows that unshakable is this liberation of mind. This is my last birth. Now there is no more renewed existence. We know that the birth has been destroyed, no more existing. Now when he has given this talk, the bhikkhu is delighted in what the Blessed One has said. And then one of the bhikkhu of the 5 ascetics, who named Venerable Kondana, there arose in him stainless, dust-free, stainless vision of Dhamma. He said, whatever is subject to origination is all subject to cessation. In his mind, he was having this experience, and Buddha having this supernormal powers. He read his mind, and at the end, Buddha says, he has learned this Dhamma. From now, he's been called Anna Kondana. And when this discourse was being spoken, this is where the Buddha has set this wheel of the Dhamma, rolling forth the wheel of the Dhamma. When this was said, earth-dwelling devas, all the Deva worlds, four great kings, Tavatimsa Deva, Yama Devas. Everybody, like, they know that this is suffering, but how to come out of it? Now they have started this cry saying that, having heard the cry of the Devas of the temple, which cannot be stopped, this wheel that has been said, the Dhamma wheel, cannot be stopped by anyone, has been set in motion by the Buddha. And because of this tremendous amount of devas start giving a cry, at that moment, at that instant, at that second, the cry spread as far as the Brahma world. And this tenfold world system shook, quaked, and trembled, and an immeasurable, glorious radiance appeared in the world, surpassing the divine majesty of the Devas. And then, now the Buddha said, then the Blessed One uttered this inspired utterance. Kundanna has indeed understood. Kundanna has indeed understood. In this way, the Venerable Kundanna acquired the name Anna Kundanna, who has understood. Kundanna, who has understood. So here, the four noble truths in its three phases and 12 aspects. It's like each noble truth, understanding it in the theory part of it, and then learning in a lab as a practical way that we are doing now. Then coming into the examination and passing the examination, it's like completely knowing it, completely understanding it, completely realized, has to be completely realized. So now we are in a transition phase, I can say that. So I hope the four noble truths in these three phases and 12 aspects has been understood for you. Anybody has any question or reflection to share?
Good, Sindhu. It is really good sutta, which is inspiring for us to walk on middle path.
Okay, I'll
And
stop.
just for benefit of audience, just I would like to tell that in the book Life is Meditation, Meditation is Life, Bhante Ulramsi has told about in detail about each eightfold path. I will share the link of the book page number so that each one can go through it. Like first harmonious perspective, right view. Right view in the sense Bhante says that all aspects which is arising is impermanent. And we should not take anything to be personal. That is the one thing. And in similar way, Bhante has told about all the next right thought, like harmonious imaging. Bhante says that we need to have a, like we should have a loving kindness practice. We should know, we should replace the unwholesome to wholesome. And for every eightfold path, Bhante has clearly explained it. I will write in the chart, like anyone who is interested can go through it. It is very good. Thank you, Sindhu, for sharing.
Thank you. And, anybody has any question? Or do you want to share about your practice, any insights that you have? Okay, if there are no questions, we'll share the merits. Give me a minute, I'll bring up the document for the sharing merits. Let's do the sharing minutes together. Put your hands together. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this middle that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings
Inhabiting space and earth, Devas and Nagas of mighty power, share this spirit of ours. May they long protect Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We wish all happiness to all. Wishing all happiness to all. Thanking you
May
all.
you all be happy. Thank you for
May all be
joining.
happy and
my
peace.
podcast.
Thank you.
Be happy, be happy. Thanks,
Yes.
everyone.
May you all keep practicing the Dhamma.